On a freezing winter night, in a quiet small town where life usually moved at a gentle pace, something extraordinary was about to happen. The snow was falling heavily, covering every roof and every road, turning the entire landscape into a silent, white desert. Inside one of those houses lived Mrs. Helen, a 78-year-old widow who had grown used to her solitude. But she was never truly alone, because by her side was her faithful Siamese cat, Nero. That night, Helen was making herself a cup of tea, hoping to keep warm as the storm raged outside. But then the unexpected happened. A deafening thunderclap shook the house, and in a single misstep, Helen slipped on the rug and fell hard to the ground. Pain shot through her body instantly, and as she tried to move, she realized something was terribly wrong. Her leg wouldn't respond. The telephone was just a few feet away on the small table, but in that moment, it might as well have been miles. She called out for help, but of course no one could hear her through the howling winds outside. Alone, vulnerable, and unable to move, Helen began to fear the worst. But she wasn't truly alone. Watching her closely, with his bright blue eyes wide open, was Nero. The cat circled around her, meowing loudly, almost as if he knew she needed him to do something more than ever before. And then, in a moment that seemed almost unbelievable, Nero acted. He leapt onto the windowsill, pushed his way through a window left slightly open, and disappeared into the raging storm. Imagine that. A small cat, barely weighing 10 pounds, venturing into the freezing snow, guided only by instinct and love. Could he really understand what was happening? Could he really know where to go? Through the snow and wind, Nero ran as fast as his little paws could carry him, straight to the home of the nearest neighbor, Mrs. Martha. He scratched at her door. He meowed, louder and louder, refusing to stop. At first, Martha thought it was strange. Why would Nero be out there in the middle of a storm? But his cries weren't normal. They weren't the casual sounds of a cat asking for food. They were urgent, desperate, almost like words. Curious and uneasy, Martha finally opened the door. The cat darted inside, but instead of settling down, he ran back to the entrance, looked at her, then back at the storm. He wanted her to follow. And at that moment, Martha realized something was wrong. Grabbing her coat, she followed Nero through the snow, her heart racing, wondering what she was about to find. When she arrived at Helen's house, her fears were confirmed. There was Helen, still lying on the cold floor, pale, trembling, unable to move. Without wasting a second, Martha called emergency services. Within minutes, the rescue team arrived, carefully lifting Helen and rushing her to safety. She survived the night because of one small hero, her Siamese cat. News spread quickly through the little town. Neighbors shared the story. The local radio station reported it, and suddenly everyone was talking about Nero, the cat who braved a storm to save his owner's life. To some, it sounded like a miracle. To others, it was proof of something they had always suspected. Animals often understand us in ways we can fully explain. And here is the question I want to leave you with. Do we underestimate just how much our pets really know about us? Are they simply companions, or silent guardians watching over us in ways we rarely notice until it matters most? Nero didn't wear a cape. He didn't need superpowers. What he had was something far stronger: love, loyalty, and the courage to act when it mattered most. And maybe that's the lesson this story leaves us with. Heroes don't always look like the ones we see in movies. Sometimes they have 4 paws, bright blue eyes, and a heart that refuses to give up. If this story touched you, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who loves animals, and subscribe for more incredible true stories that prove the extraordinary bond between humans and the pets who change our lives forever.